What's up, and welcome to our week 3 recap of SPL. I am joined here by Colin and Ham. Colin, how are you
Yo,
doing
yo.
tonight, buddy?
I'm not too bad. Here talking about some SPL. Always a good time.
Can only be so bad. How about you, Ham?
Doing all right, can't complain.
Well, with that riveting intro, let's get
Mhm.
into what the hell happened this weekend. So, we are in week 3. So, you know, we're halfway through. The way the season works is, you play all 5 other teams in your division, and then the second half of the season you play them again. So this crossed the halfway point of the first half of the of the season.
So
So
we're a quarter of the way through.
nope, we're halfway through the first half of the season. So things are starting to crystallize a little bit, and I think the games are starting to feel like they had some stakes. I know I was sweating absolute bullets this week. Just if I lost again, that would have some pretty big implications. But it really was a pretty pretty exciting week of games. There definitely were some sleepers in there, but we'll go ahead and get started. The first series we had was Toad and the Bros versus the Reed Hot Chili Strikers. Um, Trying to remember anything that happened in this series. I don't think it was particularly close. I think Dave won pretty comfortably. Colin, you got to be feeling pretty vindicated after putting Dave at the top of the MLS last week.
I mean, yeah, the team's good, and he can run out. It doesn't he doesn't like this is when his team becomes good. Once people have to go to their secondary captain, and he's pulling out Wario or he's pulling out Bowser Jr. and he's going against Diddy Kong, and it doesn't matter what week he brings it out. He still has one of those two.
And I feel like he has a pretty deep roster, um, which I don't really like. At this point, Hamilton, do you feel like there are any bad sidekicks? Because I'm really convinced that everyone has a usage.
I would say everyone has a usage, but Colin did come up with some pretty interesting plus minus stats, which makes me question some individuals' usage and value. Like Shy Guy with a minus, I think 12 goal differential across
I
both
got
leagues.
minus 12. Birdo's minus 13, but there's a stipulation on that one.
Um, but I mean, it's just like at a certain point, those stats don't lie. I do think that certain sidekicks have more value than others, but I think every sidekick has a value. It's no longer we're not going to see the season one of no Birdos in the league.
Yeah. I think that's a fair point. I think it'd be kind of hard pressed to say that every sidekick has equal value, but I do think there is a place for us, like every sidekick in each system, especially this season. So real quick, let's go through Dave's team. He has Hammerbro, Toad, Koopa, Monty, and Boo. Like I feel like he has a pretty like well balanced team. Obviously, he doesn't have a dry bones is kind of the one glaring miss, but I think he's looking really strong. Obviously he was not playing the best competition. This is definitely Reed's B team. He did kind of burn through his best players. So not really the battle for the top of the standings that one might have anticipated. But Dave did get it done in two, which took us to our next game of getting it done in two. We had Hamilton's Plumbers and Pyromaniacs versus Jake's Terrier's Disciples.
I
Now,
think
Ham, I
this
gotta ask, like after
honestly,
witnessing that pretty historic win by Jake last week, were you nervous at all coming into this week?
I said in last week's spreads that I was going to get it done in three, so I was definitely nervous coming in. Also, there was some foreshadowing in this game that could have very much happened and implicated something later in the stream. But in the end, I think it was comfortable. I also didn't start my Hammer Bro this week because I knew I was playing Jake, so I didn't feel like I necessarily needed him. So that also made me a little wary while knowing that we didn't have Bowser up front to bang in some goals. So where the goals were coming from, I was a little suspect of.
Mario's the goat, so Shouldn't have asked
Facts.
questions.
Nope.
Just realizing now that you have a triple balanced with one defense speed player out there. You know what that's
Yep.
kind of reminding me of? Daisy
Triple
and Three
hammer
Shy
bro?
Guys. So you're pretty much just
Mm.
Eric.
Fair enough.
But last week we saw Jake with the double Birdo Koopa roster that he seemed like he was pretty stoked with, get a result. But apparently there's a difference between Waluigi and Peach. I didn't know that.
Maybe.
But yeah, another pretty sleeper win. I think this was when we were just talking about Birdo's snout the whole
Yeah, I was
time.
gonna say I think this is the thrilling, not gameplay, but just conversation. Who's got the biggest nose?
Best audio in SPL history in this one.
Yeah, I'll be releasing just the audio to this as just a separate podcast. Just snout talk. So stay tuned for that. I'm realizing because the stream. I don't know if anyone realized this, but apparently the stream died. For part of Colin's series. So I will
Oh.
not be dual streaming anymore. not the Twitch viewers are not worth the risk of just losing footage. But because of that, I had to go back and piece together what I had of Control Alt Defeat versus the Colonials. In the end, the only footage that we lost is like the last minute of game one, and Colin was up 5-1 and he won 5-2.
Somehow.
So
Somehow. No. My Monty went nuts in game one.
he did.
I think you had Garrett questioning life in game
He
one.
had to trade for that Monty after the game for Shadow to later in the podcast. But Garrett got beat so bad by that one Monty in one game that he then traded for him.
I mean, we've seen there's lots of great sports franchises that have brought that same mindset forward. Would you be rethinking your strategy for the rest of the season, Colin, if Daisy had gotten you your first win?
No. My goal, which I would have been shocked if she got a win, coming into the season, I was really hoping Daisy could just secure a point every time. Things have gotten a little more dire, but we've made some changes that I think might be able to help us, maybe secure a couple more points as we move on into the meat of the season.
I mean, this is not like a throwaway Garrett roster. He put the big guns out there.
Yeah.
So getting a point there is big. We do have a YouTube video up about map 3, which I feel like can articulate the way that this went better than any conversation that we could have. So should check that out. But I do feel like this was definitely series of the week in MLS. Kind of like we talked about, the first two really weren't that close, but this one was close. And then map 3 was very entertaining at Colin's expense.
How do you feel about your Dry Bones performance in match 3?
Wait, there was a Dry Bones in this game?
Wait, let me find his best play. Let's see when we have a goal here. Okay, watch. So if you're on audio right now, please turn video on. And I want you to just see what this Dry Bones does. So we're gonna go to the telestrator, meaning my mouse, and focus on the top right. And he gets zapped. And yeah, that was pretty much it.
That's pretty much all he did all game. Got zapped every single time. Didn't touch the field.
But I will say,
Daisy was there to pull off an insane Crystal Smash play, or we would have really been in trouble.
I didn't notice this when it was live, but if you look here, Dry Bones dying provides a smoke screen for Daisy. And right now you can't tell where she is. And DK actually misses this slide. So for the people out there who play Rocket League and you've ever had your teammate get demoed and it ends up kind of helping you, Dry Bones just did that. And and that genuinely was the most meaningful contribution of the entire game. But that put a bow on the MLS results, and I have gone full screen for no reason. So going in for Preds, we actually got everything right in MLS. It was a very, very chalk week. Every match was a guarantee, and we got them all right. So, shouts out to the boys. Big ups for us in our ball knowing. Yeah, I don't really think there's anything else to say about that other than we freaking nailed it, boys. Don't look
Go
at
us.
don't look at what's to come. But after that, we transitioned into SPL, and fortunately, I wasn't paying a lot of attention to it. But one of the great chat crash outs happened during this series, which don't believe the title. It was Spread Triple Option versus Fredchester United. Freddie was not there live, but he was reacting in chat, and man was in shambles. Hamilton, did you ever think that Peach would get it done against Bowser Jr.?
As a manager of Peach, I think that a single game win would have been a little bit much to ask for, if I'm being honest. But Danny's had Peach this is the second season having Peach. And she's decided to reward him for picking her back up. So I'll give him credit where credit's due and say, so I just watched what that Monty did in the corner there and got completely sidetracked. He took out like 3 of the other team in the corner by himself. But Peach getting a win. Great day for all Peach managers out there. Tough day for Fredchester United, but can't do a whole lot about it.
Yeah, that's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes. We do have to open the question up, and I'll ask you, Colin, first. Is Danny cheating?
I don't know. He might have hacked into the code. Guy wins everything.
He is now winning when it doesn't make sense to win. Like everything else, last season he got the number 2 pick in the draft in a very captain dominated league. Basically just rode Bowser to the chip. That made sense. This doesn't make any sense. So, we'll be doing a deep investigation of what the hell Danny's up to. There's a suspicious flash drive in my computer that I will now be taking a look at. But got the win. Sorry, Fred. You are still in a good spot because SPL sucks. So you got that going for you.
I was talking with Fred after the game, and I want to clarify, that was not poor management from Fred. It's truly unluckiness. I don't think that he ran out a bad roster. I don't think that he did anything wrong. I think that one was truly just the simulation every now and then gets to go, yeah, you lose this time.
Every once in a while, the Rockies win a baseball game.
Yep.
Yeah, no, that is a solid team that he ran out there, and I don't think it's too far away from the team that embodied Wario last week. So it all makes sense. We should the amount of thought and energy we put into this is definitely validated by how non-random it is.
Yep.
So before we talk about the next series, I'd like to thank anyone who sat through last week's episode as I pretty much just crashed out for an hour. But the boys vindicated the passion this week. We got a pretty nice win against Jacob, which I was not just shocked by based off kind of what my team had been putting down, but I feel like Jacob's team should be doing better at this point. Colin, are you surprised to see him struggling against bottom tier teams?
This is kind of what Jacob always does, isn't it? Where he's got a good team, they win some games, they lose some games, they kind of finish in the middle of the pack. Then they go into the playoffs, they win a series, and then they gets eliminated. Kind of what Yoshi's been doing for 3 seasons now.
That's fair, but I do feel like we were a little higher on his draft this year. Like I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I think it might have been you, but he was like an S tier.
I do think he has a great team because he still has his other. I think it was the other captain because he's got Donkey Kong as his other captain. So like he's in every game. But I don't know, something. Maybe the Mr. Monty Yoshi combo has been going on too long. Maybe it's time to break up the boys.
I will shout out Colin for giving us head-to-head stats between managers and captains. And going into this series, I was 4-0 against Jacob. And
6-0 now.
That's now up to yeah, I guess that's in game score. But he also this just isn't the matchup for him. So I have faith that he'll bounce back. Kind of similar to MLS. Well, actually, no, because the order was wrong. But we finished on a high note, which actually was a very crazy series, surprisingly, between Flying Dutchman and the Goose Crusade. There was a very pivotal moment where up until then, it completely looked like Adam was going to win this series. He won game one, was up 3-0 with less than a minute and a half left. I got the video playing right now, but not Yoshi, wrong green character. Luigi bags himself a goal. Adam is still looking in prime position. And then with 30 seconds left, Luigi pops a 6 in the red. And, could let the video speak for itself, but he goes 3 for 6. Hamilton, would you take that?
Take those?
I think I asked Eric afterward, and he also agreed that he would settle for that.
Yeah. In the wise words of Freddie, he'd take that. But very, very consequential mega strike. Because I feel like if Eric did not win this, Danny would have completely run away with the season. But that one game 2 for Eric, and then he didn't really look back. Game 3 was pretty dominant. So Adam might be losing his magic just a little bit.
I'd also like to talk about 2, I think, new things that happened there. In the last game, I saw Daisy try and crystal smash Luigi out of that Mega Strike, and I didn't see if she just missed or if out of the 3-goal Mega Strike, or if it just didn't affect him. If he might have had a star on. And then in your game, Austin, we got to see Mario versus an egg, big Mario versus an egg, and that I think was also a new interaction. And we learned that Egg does beat Big Mario.
Yeah, which I mean makes sense because Big Mario is way too strong and Egg needs to be balanced.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So we got the tape up, and I will say 2 things. One, she likely did miss. I don't know the intricacies of the Crystal Smash hitbox, but Luigi also did have a star. This is a 3K from her though, so is it 4?
Well, she got one of her own.
Yeah, she got 2 of her own. So based off this Hammer Bro, I'm gonna say that if Luigi had not been starred, he would have been hit as well. Because Hammer Bro is not close, and he still gets rocked. So I think it was the star. Good idea by Daisy, but Luigi was just better. That
big time players make big time plays and big time moments.
Yep, that's why he's gonna be on my team. So that sealed the deal for I flashed it a little bit earlier, but Preds for SPL didn't go quite as well. But Hamilton went
Well,
5 for 6.
the Hammers' Fred was unexpected to say the least.
Yeah. At least that wasn't an absolute guarantee somehow. Because that would have been a complete flip. But
Yeah.
I off the top of my head, I did not run the stats, but I do not know who's in the league for the Golden Picker. Looks like
I have the stats
okay, he has the stats.
in our new prediction sheet that anyone can go to and make your own predictions. Compete against the podcast boys. I'm 8-4. Hamilton is 7-5. Austin is 5-7.
So 7 right, 12 wrong.
7 of 12. Yes.
Yes.
Of 12 games, I have 8. Ham has 7. Austin has 5. Reed has 4 of 6, and Dave is 3 of 6. You don't need to add those.
We boosted our
Oh, we have them.
guarantees up to 4 and 6, and we got our
Nice.
absolute guarantee right. So that's better.
Oh, huge.
We'll take
Was
that.
Was it 2 games?
Oh,
Oh, it
yeah.
was. It
yes,
was.
Yes, it was. It was.
Did guarantees go from? I think you're short a game on guarantees.
We had 4 guarantees.
I think it's out of 7, not
1
out
for
of
3, 4 for 7. So we had, yeah, that's math. Good call, Ham.
Lord.
That's why he works for the government. Oh baby. But anyway, let's take a look at the standings after this. So MLS standings, we have Control Alt Defeat up top, Plumbers and Pyromaniacs, Toad and the Bros, Reed Hot Chili Strikers, Terrio's Disciples, the Colonials, Colin from the bottom looking up. How do you feel about this table?
Bad. I've allowed 29 goals. I have 0 wins. And I have a negative 10 goal differential.
How do you feel about the orientation of the rest of the table if you were to take yourself off of it?
I feel like it adds up.
Yeah, I feel like the thing that's kind of like inflating other teams where it looks like a little bit worse is because they all have beaten you. Ham, how are you feeling sitting in second?
It's an interesting position in second because it's 3-way tie points wise. Reed beat me. I think I beat Garrett. I might not have played Garrett yet. Who have I played so far?
Colin,
Reed, and Jake. So I feel like mine's pretty fake. We get Garrett as a litmus test next week, so we'll see how that goes. And I think we're both running A lineups, so that should be fun to see how it plays out. But I mean, the true goal is top 3. I've put myself in a position to be in that competition. We'll see how it all shakes out.
Colin, do you think that Garrett will finish the season in number 1?
Just based on odds, probably not. But like I wouldn't be shocked if he did. He's making moves, but right now +2 goal differential to be, have 7 points is pretty that's a tight difference. We'll see what happens as it shakes out.
Yeah, speaking of making moves, we did have a little bit of MLS roster changes. So before last week, I believe it was Colin dropped a Toad and added a Boob. Is that correct?
Well, I dropped a Toad and added a Boob.
Yeah,
that is correct.
And then we had a top bottom swap. What did you got a Hammer Bro from Garrett and he got a Monty?
Hammer Bro for the Monty that beat him in one game.
What are you cooking with that hammer, bro?
Oh, I should get off my computer. um, my goal, I think Garrett initiated the trade. He was looking for a little more defensive help. I kind of have a lot of defensive characters, Petey, Daisy, two dry bones, and a Monty. That's a lot. So I was looking for another shooter and some extra passing, especially to pair with when Daisy's on the field. I think the Hammer Bro I can run maybe have a better shot when Daisy's out there was my thought, and then I think he could help out with PD2 getting him the ball while also being a scoring option.
I think all that makes sense, and your roster looks really dangerous. You also are one of the very few people I think pretty much ever who has a fully available team next week.
I think I'm the only one.
Yeah, I don't think that's happened since week 1 versus Adam, who doesn't have a choice.
I don't know if I have a choice either. Garrett was.
I didn't have a choice. I guess part of it's I made a roster move, so I dropped someone with no stamina and picked up someone with full.
Smart. And we'll see. That's Garrett got some good trade leverage with the double Hammer Bros in the draft, so this is him cashing in for the first time. I don't think anyone's ever parting ways with the dry bones. Can you? I mean, I guess in a captain deal, but
It has to be captain.
Hamilton, would you ever consider trading a dry bones for a Hammer Bro?
If there was an upgrade to Mario attached to it, I would consider it.
Yeah, but not just like as 1-for-1.
No.
Yeah. He still just sits in as a tier alone. But yeah, so that's where MLS sits. SPL definitely a little bit like MLS is kind of top heavy in the table. MLS is a little more bottom heavy. Danny is sitting pretty up top with Spread Triple Option, Goose Crusade in second, Flying Dutchman in third, and then Super Ario Bros, Come On Mr. Monty, and Fredchester United all tied with 3 points, just one win, not a single. What do we want to call it? It's not a draw. I guess it's a sudden death loss.
Series?
Not a single game 3.
A game, yeah.
And just separated by goal difference. Hamilton, gut reactions looking at this table.
Danny looks terrifying. As you've questioned, is he cheating? Only time will tell. Danny, we're on to you. Goose Crusade being in second, kind of confusing. Also, I was looking at the goal differentials in this league, and it's 4 teams at negative and Danny at plus 12, which is just terrifying in my mind. Like, not only do you have to make up 6 points if you're in the bottom 3, but you also have to make up 19 goals if you're Fredchester United, which is more than 4 of the teams in the league have scored so far this season. So curious to see how that plays out.
That goals against Danny's team has been incredible, right? Goals for is high. That 9 goals against is nuts.
Yep.
No one else is even close.
No.
It's very interesting. Kind of go to your point. I do think that there is a very clear top 2. I think that they will be fighting for the championship. I do think that Danny is, still the pretty heavy favorite to take that. But it will very much for right now, especially with Adam sitting in the 3 spot. It feels like it's going to be a 4-way race for, what you really want in SPL is top 3. Nothing else is safe. Colin, who of the pack, who of the peloton do you think is going to be sitting safe in SPL next season?
Oh, this is a tough one. I know he's currently in third. I have no faith in Adam. That roster is devoid of talent at the captain position.
He has gotten a point every single week, at least one.
He has gotten a point, but he's going to need to get some more wins, and he's still running Diddy Daisy. Although I will say, his only lineup option next week is
You gotta
the
be kidding me.
terrifying Diddy roster. If he
Tough
if he
tough
puts
shit
it,
for Reed.
that would be Freddie that he's playing.
Oh, I know how to read. Colin, you were talking, so I was thinking about you. Tough shit
I
for
wish I had
Freddie.
the Diddy roster. He
Be
has to put
terrible
everyone in
from
the
the
right
wall for
spots,
Fred.
obviously, but that's a roster that has proven to be able to get some wins. But I don't know if that's just an anomaly. But outside of that, not a good roster. I don't think he will make that spot. Jacob's got good depth. I think your team is solid, Austin. I think Freddie can get some wins. I think it's gonna come down to the wire.
Give me a name. Sound like a politician right now.
Austin.
Wow. I feel so good. It's gonna be whispering other things as it ends. But no, I think it's kind of cool that right now the way it's shaping up, that like there are more teams in the promotion zone battle in MLS and more teams in the relegation zone battle in SPL, which could have things play out in a super cool way. I am really, really happy with how season 3 has been going. Hamilton, how are you thinking about the format so far?
I like it a lot. Fitness is a whole lot of fun. Excited for the possibility of contracts next season, but I'm enjoying this right now.
Yeah.
Gotta say, it's a whole lot more fun to have 2 captains at a minimum. Just you're not staring at the 8th week of Peach.
Well, that's a man who's been through it all. But I think too, the website has been a really awesome addition. We have
Austin, click
Yes.
on one of those.
on one of what?
Wait, does it not work for you?
Oh,
There we go.
website's a little slow.
Yeah, well,
No, but that's super sick. I did not know that it did that. So it displays the leaders in both conferences. But I was just saying
top
the
5 in
UI
both.
for the website is genuinely awesome. There's a lot to dig into, and also too, we're getting to the point in the season where it's gonna start getting more and more exciting in terms of statistics and more things to dive into in terms of map stats, which even just the fact that like we have data, we have so much data from last year too. Like for right now that map stats aren't like really a thing, I am referencing the spreadsheet from season 2 to still get good data and like what I need to do against Danny. So genuinely awesome. We have our own esport. Very, very cool. um so let's get into week 4, um, and start to talk about those upcoming games that I have prepared on a spreadsheet, definitely. Um, but thanks to Colin, I don't have to. So starting off, we have heavy hitting games in MLS. We have Hamilton versus Garrett. That is a tough one. Colin, do you have any gut reactions to that series?
Ham Garrett. Let me pull up the current rosters. I have so many tabs open. Let's see. Rosters. They both have a good amount of players available. We're probably gonna get some good players out there. Garrett's making moves. Ham's making moves. It's going to game 3. It's gonna be a classic Garrett collapse in game 3.
Vintage. So you're saying Hammond 3?
Hammond 3.
I'll take the next, just that way I don't have to deal with the consequences of me doing this. I'd like to pick myself in 3.
This is going great for me. How do Can I just clear these?
Yeah, just hit delete.
Whole lot of gobbledygook. All right, we got Hammond 3, Hammond 3. Okay. Let's. I did not listen to anything that Colin said in terms of rosters.
It's going to be. I'm going to trot out most likely Bowser, Drybones, Hammerbro, Birdo versus Donkey Kong, Monty, Hammerbro, and either a Toad or a Shy Guy.
Okay. I truly think this is 50-50. So I'm gonna defend the absolute the guarantee. Um, Hopefully we start off the stream with a banger 3-game series and both teams pull up in a meaningful way. But I think that's really as close to a coin flip as you get in this season. Next game probably a little bit further away from a coin flip. Jake versus Dave. I am going Dave in 2. Wait, this is Waluigi week.
He should have Waluigi available.
Luigi has 2 stamina.
Wario's probably gonna play. Wario sucks. Dave in 3. And what you got?
Good Dave in 2.
Colin?
Get the highlighter out. We're going Dave. I'll give Jake a game.
Will you?
Yeah, I'll give him a game.
He'll give Jake a game. I'll get out the highlighter. That's a guarantee. No use even watching. Reed versus Colin. So this is 4 versus
80 weeks
6
for Colin.
in MLS. The type of game that Colin really needs to win. Colin does have the full choice of his roster. Colin, do you want to leak what you're playing?
No, I don't.
I will say Colin has PD both dry bones and a Hammerbro or a Koopa or a Boo. He's got everything, but the double dry bones in and of itself, the possibility of that is terrifying.
Colin, how much of your woes this season do you attribute to Hamilton's corporate espionage during the draft?
A lot. Did he could have gotten a win last week. And right now I have the materials to do the Diddy roster just without Diddy.
Ooh.
Maybe I'll trade
trade.
Maybe I'll trade a dry bones for the kid.
Oh, real quick, I'm gonna pull up the matchup histories for this because I love that shit. But I'm based off just the resources that Colin has available. I am gonna go Colin. I'll go Colin in 2. I think this is the turnaround point for the season. I do not think that Colin will finish in last. I think he will. Honestly, I mean, if he can make it to 4th, then he can make it to 1st, just because of how close everything is. So I don't know, but I don't think Colin's finishing in last. Hamilton, what you got?
Put Colin in a pickle here and go Colin in 3.
Why would you put him in a pickle? It's not nice at all.
Because this is what I think is going to happen.
Why'd you have to do this to me?
Am I breaking out the highlighter?
I really wanted to predict myself in 3. I'm gonna back the boys. I'm still gonna give him a game though to not jinx myself.
So let's see. So Colin versus Reed. Colin is 2-0 in game score. PD versus Yoshi is 6-1.
Ooh.
So, looking pretty good. I know Colin doesn't want to hear that, but based off the stats, that's about it. That's about as good as it could get. All right. Well, Danny versus me. Um, I will not be predicting myself, and he's told me that he is playing Bowser both weeks against me, which is great. I played Danny twice in 3 weeks, and we'll be eating flames. Um, this is going to be my pre-trade week, so I'm going to do Danny in 2. Hamilton.
Yeah, scroll on the rosters. That's my bad. The non-Koopa week for Danny. So that means either double Monty or double Dry Bones. Give me Danny in 2.
Perfectly reasonable. What color highlighter, Colin?
See, the thing is here. What is Austin doing? I wasn't listening if he said anything.
He didn't. He said it was his pre-trade week.
The question is, in my opinion, Wario is significantly better than Mario. But Austin got a win with Mario, which makes me think he might try to go with Mario anyway. I gotta go Danny in 3.
He backs off the
Austin
orange highlighter.
Austin might throw just because it's Danny, but I doubt it. I think he needs the points. He's got to try to get at least one against Danny.
Yeah, I throw to my easy next week of Eric, and then after that I can rest my players up against to play Danny again. Okay, Eric versus Jacob. So let's see. I think Jacob has to play DK, who had an absolute stinker in week 1. Eric has a fully rested PD available, which I can't see why he wouldn't play. Jaco has to run Donkey Kong, Koopa, Toad, and Birdo. Koopa, Toad, Birdo. I really want to go Jacob here, but nothing I said out loud inspired any amount of confidence in me. Also, because it benefits me, I'm going to go Eric. I think DK gets Jacob a game. I'll go Eric in 3. Hamilton.
Kill the highlighter, you can put it away. Give me Jacob in 3.
Colin.
Interesting looking at Eric's roster. It's a balanced 2 passers and then PD probably. P's going to need to cook, I think. He's going to need to really carry that team, which he has done in the past. We've got Donkey Kong, Koopa, Toad, Birdo. Give me Jacob in 3.
All right. He likes it. It's a bit of an upset win if Jacob is going to put forward any sort of title challenge. Or, honestly, we're getting to the point where we need to start seeing him lock in if he wants to make a good playoff challenge. He's got to start now. So y'all are backing the boy. Respect it. Freddie versus Adam. Now, do we think that things are as dire for Freddie as they seem?
I will tell you that Freddie can only start Waluigi.
Yeah. And he also has to play Hammer Bro, Birdo, and Koopa.
Yeah. On the flip side, Adam has to run Diddy, Hammer Bro, Dry Bones, Koopa.
Yeah. we've got the Did lineup versus Fred. Now I offered Fred some trades.
Taking the Did lineup.
Colin's taking the Did lineup.
If it was anything other, actually, I want a stipulation on this. If I'm picking Adam, only if Adam, and Adam's still gonna be my prediction. But if Adam runs top midfield Hammerbro, bottom midfield Dry Bones, defensive Koopa, I pick Adam. Otherwise, I'm picking Fred. Also, it's still going to be in 3.
Fine.
Does it matter if Hammerbro's the bottom midfielder as opposed to the top midfielder?
Of course it matters. Do you see the stats?
What kind of foolish question is that?
Austin, you want to go first here?
No, I gotta pull up the freaking the analytics. The dumbest statistic in all of SPL. Freaking double
man.
double goals. It makes no sense. Yeah, man, if Freddie loses, I worry about his sanity. I have so what happens if Adam doesn't submit a form?
He still gets that lineup, but the positions will be Hammerbro will be in whatever position he was in last week because he just played, and then I'll probably coin flip the other 2.
Okay, so he doesn't just get to lock it in like he did against me, where I just went in the order of his picks.
Yeah, probably.
That's tough.
Or I could go in order, and it would just be the did lineup.
Hey, I had to deal with it. I'm not opposed to it. I'm sorry, Freddie. I know you're still listening. Those are points I wish I had back.
I believe that Colin has already previously done the coin flip, so I think at this point we need to stay with the coin flip.
I did it last week, just to see who was playing.
I'm just kidding. I think that is the best way to do it. I don't think. Oh man, Hamilton, do you have an opinion?
I'm waiting to play off yours.
Okay. Classic Freddy style. Well, then I'll make it hard on you. I'll take Freddy. No, I'm taking Adam. I believe in the deadline. It's not the personal Freddy. I think you have a solid team, but it's the did lineup.
I do actually think Freddy's gonna win, but the did lineup is undefeated.
I think Adam's sidekicks genuinely are better. Hammerbro, Drybones, Koopa versus Birdo, Coop. You're playing a Birdo versus a Drybones. The rest is the same. And then a Diddy versus a Waluigi. So is the gap between Drybones and Birdo a bigger gap than Waluigi and Diddy? I'm gonna say it's enough. Give me Fred in 3. We'll keep the highlighters put away for the last 2 games.
Yeah, we gotta stay civil. So interesting narrative that broke out during the stream of for the sanctity of the discussion. We'll call it left team versus right team. All right. So far this season, left team is 14-4 over the right team, which is insane. So this week we're actually pretty strongly right team. We're 4-2 to the right team. I'll put it out to the table. Hamilton, do you see any validity in left team versus right team?
I will say I got curious about this validity in like season 1, but because we weren't tracking it and we weren't actually designating a home team, it wasn't that tracked. But Austin put out the stats that like season 1, I think it was balanced. Season 2 it went the other way, and now season 3 we're leaning the left team. I'm not worried about it anymore.
Really is a riveting conversation. But yeah, so season 1, and this is I'm off by 1 game, and I do not care to do this again. But the left team won by 7. They were 20-13 with 34 ties. And then season 2, home team. I mean, sorry. I did not mean to use that word. I'm so sorry. Left team won 21 and right team won 27. So pretty much perfectly balanced, but this season has not been the case. Colin, how do you feel about it?
I think it's a bunch of hogwash.
You think they're washing their hogs?
They're washing their hogs.
I will also add that if the statistics do continue to be abnormal, we have conditions in place to remedy this issue in playoff time, in the sense that we'll just alternate who's home and who's away. But
Plus, it's also past seasons. If this were an actual issue, it would pretty much just null and void the whole season. But this season, you play everyone home and away, and we're going to do the display the same way every time. So if you lose both times as the left team, then you just suck. But
simply put,
I know there are some believers. I don't have any audio right now, so it's back. But only time will tell when we have a larger sample size, and maybe this season's different. Maybe this season it means everything. But stoked to get into week 4. We are now past the half point, and we move to the second half of the first half, as everyone calls it.
Wait, say that simpler.
What?
I just wish that the English language was better and we had words that could describe that better.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just the world we live in, so no use changing it.
Yeah.
But good games to come. Longest season ever, but I'm enjoying the fact that we're taking our time a little bit. We're getting to sit in the pool a little while longer, and like Hamilton said, I don't think anyone is chalked at this point just because they have a bad captain. So that's got to feel good. Anyone have any parting words of wisdom?
I have something that I just think it's amazing. Obviously, we're still early, but just the current leader in the entire league in impact score is Monty Mole number 2. I think that's ridiculous. Guy's going off.
I
He's
would
got 2
like
goals a
to
game. 2 goals a game. Nuts.
I'd like to shout out the Marios for being the best captain in both SPL and MLS.
Combined.
And individually.
Bowser not
Per
better.
striker index.
The best stat.
Striker next, yes.
The only stat that matters when looking at Mario's.
Although Monty Mole 2 is higher than both of them.
Yeah. Put a sock in it.
But yeah, look at the spreadsheet. And if we get any scoregami this season,
Give me a Brazil.
People better lose their minds. All right. Any scoregami we get is like a 1 in 350 chance. And the stats only get crazier. Every new interaction we have is the odds are even wilder. When DK Thunder whams, or is it Thunder Wham? Thunder whams the ball into the net. Just know you're witnessing history.
When Daisy uses Crystal Smash to be productive, history.
Just know. She tried.
You're witnessing history.
She tried.
Yeah, she succeeded. So on that note,
I'd like to quickly remind Danny that we are investigating you. You better be hiding your tracks.
We will end the episode playing out with Daisy with the greatest Crystal Smash in history. Thank you, everyone. Peace.